So today, I'm going to show you the new Bissell Little Green Hydrosteam Pet Portable Carpet Cleaner, which claims to clean messes up to 50% faster and better than other carpet cleaners, including these ones here, like the Bissell Little Green machine and the Bissell Little Green SpotClean Pro machine. So which one is it? Which one's actually going to be better? Because the Hydrosteam technology is actually very impressive, and that's because we've tried it and call the Bissell Revolution Hydrosteam the best carpet cleaner currently on the market. So first, let me tell you what this machine can do. It has 3 cleaning modes here. It's going to be coming with something called steam wash, steam, and wash, versus on these units that only come with one function. And that steam wash is really for tough, oily messes like grease, food spills, or mud. The steam is actually just going to be more of a pre-treat or kind of like steam shooting or a steam shot from Bissell, where it's going to be meant for refreshing upholstery and cleaning tile and grout. So that's going to be somewhat similar to a universal steam cleaner. And wash is actually for enzyme-based stains like pet accidents, urine, or vomit. Steam wash and steam is new and exclusive to the Hydrosteam. And Bissell recommends you pick your mode based on what fabric or material you are cleaning. So if I'm more likely to be cleaning my drapes, I'm going to be using steam, and if I want to clean my floors, depending on what stain that is, I might opt for either steam wash or wash. I generally opt for steam wash, but you might opt for wash. So in the user manual, Bissell even includes a chart explaining what they recommend or which mode they recommend depending on what stain is or the floor type. So they're saying for beverages like coffee, cola, fruit juice, red wine, use it on steam wash or steam. For oily messes like cooking grease, pasta sauce, use it on steam wash or steam. So for sticky messes like chocolate syrup, honey, and jelly, use it on steam wash, not steam alone. And then for other messes like pet stains and dairy, they say use it on wash because you don't want to add heat for milk. So if you're looking at the specs here, this Hydrosteam is going to weigh 13 pounds, which is in contrast to the weight of the Little Green machine, which was way closer to 9 pounds. This comes with a 51-ounce dirty water tank, and it comes with a 64-ounce clean tank. It has a 15-foot power cord and a 5-foot hose. And it's going to be coming with a heat indicator light right here that's going to light up. So you will actually know when your steam is ready. I do find with this new design, the weight distribution is very nice and it feels pretty natural to carry it around. We saw this on the Hoover Clean Slate in terms of this new design scheme, but now on the Hydrosteam, they've done it a little bit better because they give you a much taller handle. There's an area to wrap your cord on the side, and it's actually going to be placed properly, and it's not going to be too long that you don't have a really good area to lock in your plug. The difference between the Revolution Hydrosteam here and the Hydrosteam Spot Cleaner is bigger than you think, because the Revolution will be better on pretty much any floor type that you can use the brush roll on, and that's because it has a bigger motor. But just because it has that doesn't mean it's going to be a better spot cleaner, because the steam only works for cleaning the floor. The steam does not work if you're using this as a spot cleaner. The only option you have from Bissell for steam and a spot cleaner is going to be the Little Green Hydrosteam Pet. And that's because this is actually engineered to bring the steam directly to smaller areas. And the Hydrosteam is not meant to pick up hair or debris or anything else in terms of big particles on your floor. So make sure to vacuum the area first so that you can avoid any clogs or hair bunches inside of your onboard tools or inside of your hose, because that's going to make cleanup easier. Overall, what they did with the Revolution Hydrosteam is just improved a tried and true formula. This is going to take what you love about the Little Green machine and then merge it with the Hydrosteam. More than it's going to be some type of marriage between the Little Green machine and the SpotClean Pro. When we originally had done all of our testing, we wanted to compare the Hydrosteam with the Proheat, and we did that. And we found that the Hydrosteam is better, but it's not a fair comparison because the Hydrosteam just works differently. And it works differently because the power of steam is like a secret sauce or a secret formula. Because everything you do, nothing you're going to be able to recreate at home is going to replace the effectiveness on steam on breaking up stains, especially old stains or caked on stains, particular stains that have a really difficult time dissolving or getting broken up in terms of large, thick fibers. I find the Hydrosteam does a great job. And if you want to reduce the drying time, just make sure to not hold down the trigger and just go over that surface repeatedly for about 3 to 5 minutes just to remove any remaining solution or liquid so that your floors and your spot can dry faster. That is something that a lot of people are just like, okay, I did it. I don't really think there's any more water, but guess what? There's still going to be a lot of water, maybe inside of the padding or inside of the material or the fabric that you are cleaning. If you take a closer look at your Bissell, you'll notice that this is the cord, and this cord is 5 feet. You have this 5 feet cord. Now, the beauty of this is that the trigger is actually going to be a lot bigger than before. So look at the size of this trigger. It is hard to miss. Every other trigger we've seen is more relative, like a normal trigger. This is like a 2-finger trigger, and I have big hands, so this is a 2-finger trigger right here. If you want to clean your 5-inch attachment, it's really just like cleaning any other Bissell attachment. Just pop off the cover. This is going to be removable. This material here is a more solid, at least more heat-resistant plastic. It's not going to be the same plastic that you're going to find on your other spot cleaners. You have these bristles here, pretty standard affair on the bristles. The hose itself will not be removable, so you can't remove this. So if you want to clean it, just make sure to use the Hydro Rinse tool, because this is the same size as some of the other spot cleaners if you have one. Or you could just use it with a tank of water and just let the water circulate out of a bucket. Wrapping your cord is very easy because finally someone has done this, which is it just allows you to wrap your cord around your unit twice easily, and then it will stay in place. That is probably the easiest wraparound process on any spot cleaner that I've tried. So that is, even though that doesn't seem innovative, that's actually a big bonus for me. Dirty water tank on the Hydrosteam is still going to be opened the same way, and that means I just have to open this all the way and it's going to pop out. But unlike on the regular SpotClean Pro, you don't have to push the handle all the way to the back. You just have to push it halfway. It used to be that you had to push this all the way to the back to unlock it. Now it's just halfway and it's going to pop right off. As you can see, there's this little click sound, so it's a little bit more audible. It's unlock. Even in this state, you won't be able to pop it out. You got to release it and it'll pop off. And that's how you open up the dirty water tank. We'll lock it back in. The dirty water tank system, though, looks identical to the SpotClean Pro, even to the little green machine. This is the clean water tank, and they've finally updated the clean water tank. And this is probably one of the biggest upgrades we've seen, even though it's going to feel really small. So this is that clean water tank. Now the handles are just the handles. You're going to pop this out. It's smaller than what you would get on the SpotClean Pro. The secret here is that instead of having to have a twist-off cap, you actually have a opening. And the cool thing about the Bissells is that everything locks into place, and I really like the build quality. So it's not going to be locked into place with some type of lock, but actually when you clip it into place, this is very solidly in, and you have to put some pressure to pop it out. So I could see that potentially being an issue down the line if your plastic on plastic gets stuck. So you want to keep that in mind. This is the cord. The cord is still the standard Bissell cord. It's going to be durable and long. Here you're getting a 15-foot cord with a 5-foot hose. And how they have set this hose up is actually different now. So it used to be you would wrap this around the sides, or it would be wrapped just one single time on the Bissell Little Green Machine. But on the Hydrosteam, they actually did it more like the Hoover Clean Slate, where you have a locking mechanism here. You can also store your onboard tool. So the best way to do this is actually to put your 5-inch tool above and have your smaller tool attached. It just takes less space, but if you want to switch it up, you can always take out the smaller tool and then have the larger tool attached, and then have the smaller tool right here. Now, of course, there's going to be some cons. And what are they? Well, first, it's still going to be 13 pounds. So even though it's going to be a little lighter than this guy, it is still heavier than the Bissell Little Green. So I know some people, when the tanks are full, you might say it's pretty heavy. I know that one day, I know this, one day they will put wheels on your spot cleaner. And spot cleaners do take time, and you have to be willing to refill the tank, especially if you're doing areas larger than maybe like 10 square feet, maybe 20 square feet, because these tanks, especially if you have a deep stain, can go empty very quickly because these spot cleaners are pretty aggressive. It also comes with an updated menu. And this menu is different from any of these because all of these just have power buttons. So if you're using your Hydrosteam just on steam, make sure to use it with clean water. I know I'm using mine with tap, and I've been using all of my steams with tap. Now, I use my Hydrosteam with tap water, and I know some people are always like, oh, well, I can only use distilled or I can only use purified. It really depends on how hard your water is at your home. Because I know with the heat, I might have to scale my Hydrosteam, but that's as easy as just using it with vinegar. So we're gonna run some tests with our ketchup, our wine, and our orange juice. So we're gonna try this on fresh stains. Remember, this is orange juice, this is wine, and this is ketchup. So we're on steam. We're just gonna release the steam here. You can see how long it takes. I just use the steam as a pre-treat actually.
Starting with orange juice is a very difficult stain to remove out of any carpet upholstery, and that's because it has a high sugar content. It's acidic, so it can etch into the carpet fibers, and orange pigment is really notorious for staying inside of the carpet fibers. So I like to pre-treat my carpet stains by adding solution and then scrubbing the fibers quickly and letting the solution break down the stain. Then I wait about 5 to 10 minutes until scrubbing and extracting again, and once I finish the area, I like to make some dry passes to extract as much water as possible. So here I really spent a lot of time adding the solution, scrubbing, letting that solution work its way in, and then starting the extraction process. And if you want to use the steam only mode, the cool thing with that is that actually while producing steam, it's also going to be extracting. So you can use it kind of like a steam extraction.
So we use maybe over half the tank. You can see the color of our dirty water tank. I also have to empty it. Remember, with the setting, if it hits the max line, even the bubbles, it's gonna ask you to turn itself off. So we made this stain 3 weeks ago, so we're gonna be testing it on some old ketchup stains. Really open the clean water tank when it's attached, you gotta take it out. So make sure to put it somewhere flat so you can unclip it. And this is 64 ounces of water. So we're just gonna add some water. So I don't want to use too little cleaning solution because when you're coming down to these type of deep, heavy set stains, you need a good amount of cleaning solution to get deep and penetrate so that you can get it out. Just going to take the temperature of our water so you guys have a good baseline here. And you can see that our water is coming at 68.9 degrees. So we're going to put our Bissell on steam wash. And we're going to wait till this heats up. So this means our unit is ready to go. Let's unspool it. We're going to see, is it producing steam? We got the spray here. It is steam ready. And as you can see, we got the steam coming.
So this is the perfect example of where the Hydrosteam shines, because ketchup is a very difficult stain to remove out of carpets because it contains a combination of sugar, acid, and pigment. And that sugar makes it more sticky, and it's a food, so this is definitely inside of the steam wash parameters. So it has acid inside the ketchup, primarily from tomatoes, so that can also etch into the carpet fibers. The pigment is going to primarily be from lycopene, so that's difficult to remove, especially from light color carpets. As you see here, they get darker over time, so that's why this color looks so rich. And most times when you spill ketchup, it's going to be on the floor and you might not even notice it. So that gives even more time for the ketchup to set inside of the carpet fibers, making it even more difficult to remove. Now, this is going to be the test of the steam only. I'm going to look at cleaning my sneaker like they so recommend. And this is just my shoe. It's a size 14, so let's try it out here. But there is a big problem. If you just turn it on, as you can see, you're going to be spraying water instead of creating steam. It actually produces steam better the longer you hold it. So if you're not holding it down, it's going to shoot some water first. So that's why you're seeing a lot of water. And that's why I think as a steamer for your drapes, you would actually have to point this at a bucket or something that can retain the water. Otherwise, you're going to get water all over your drapes. So be careful if you're going to use it primarily as a steamer. I don't think the original intention was for it to be a steamer. It can be used as a steamer in a pickle, but it's definitely not going to be the same as a clothing iron or clothing steamer or any other type of residential steamer you might be used to. And with that, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. We will get back to you. And please hit that like and subscribe button because it really does help support our channel. And I'll catch you next time. This is Dave with our French Glow, showcasing to you our Bissell Little Green Hydrosteam. I'll catch you next time. Bye, bye, bye.